Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we have a very special guest, Hank Boomershine from Storm. Thank you so much for coming down, and we're going to put him on the press.
Oh boy.
So this is like a new segment that we're going to start doing, get some people from the industry to come down and ask them some questions, some silly ones, some serious ones. We got 10 questions.
Alright, I'm ready.
They're not bad.
Okay.
They're not bad.
Alright.
So for people that are watching right now that don't fully know who you are, what you do, give us that. Well, what do you do? What's your job over at Storm?
I'm the chief cook and bottle washer for everything at Storm Products. No, I'm just kidding. Vice President of Sales and R&D. So run the sales for North and South America, and am in charge of all the development between the Storm and Rotor brands. So
Awesome.
that's what I do. I'm 19 years at Storm, so it's been a long time.
Well, that beats my next question up. So how long have you been involved?
Yeah, 19 years on the Storm side, though.
Right, but bowling in general, like how long have you been doing this?
So I started bowling in 1980, so I was 10. So now you guys just got a good idea how old I am.
Yeah.
I started the pro shop business when I was 15, so 1985. So I drove my first
you were
ball.
drilling balls at 15 years old?
15 years old, I was drilling balls for a guy named Ken Ray, Inglewood, Ohio, Thunderbolt Lanes, Jerry Kessler, famous Jerry Kessler on Facebook. Really? Yeah, he manages that bowling center. So I started in that shop a long time ago. And then went to college at Texas, West Texas State. Carolyn Doran Ballard was a senior when I was a freshman, so
that's awesome.
A lot of cool people that I got to hang out with. And then as through the years,
lots of history, man.
Yeah, I ended up in Freddie Borden's place in Akron, Ohio for 4 years, having a pro shop there. And then I started as a tour rep for Storm in 2000. And
so you did
the rest is
so the repping was first before you actually got into
before I got in office. Yeah, I was a tour rep for about 9 months, and then Bill Christman and Bill Supper brought me in the office and said, "Hey, think about running a rotor grip and Dynatane brand for us," and I was like,
Dynatane.
"Love, yeah, you got to move here in
goodness.
30 days." So I moved from Ohio to Utah in 30 days.
That's awesome. That's
So,
awesome. You regretted it ever since, right?
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
You're at a cookout. All right, you got to pick one condiment. You have ketchup or mustard. Where are you going?
Ketchup.
Going ketchup.
Ketchup.
I think
Ketchup
all
put me
these
in the
questions.
hospital.
Ketchup put you in the hospital.
Yeah, I was a little kid. I was eating French fries, and I loved ketchup, and I ran out of French fries. I still had ketchup. So my dad's thyroid pills were sitting on the table. So I popped the top and started eating pills, and they had to rush me to the hospital, pump my stomach. I was like 3 years old. So there's ketchup. I still love ketchup.
So there you go. So even after that near-death experience, Hank is still eating ketchup. I'm a mustard guy, man. I mean,
mix them together, they're pretty good too.
Well,
and if you go to Utah, you mix those with ketchup and mayonnaise, you got fry sauce.
Bang. There you go. Heard it here first. Probably not first, but all right. Name one ball that you absolutely loved that didn't really go over well with like the fans or like the market or anything else. Just one ball that just first thing that pops in your head.
Was a Rush, Rotor Grip Rush.
Okay.
Great bowling ball, just kind of, I think maybe the color kind of turned people off, the pink and yellow.
It just didn't.
But it rolled amazing.
Yeah.
It was one of the hardest balls we ever had to build, and we only built one model, and then we walked away because it was too hard to build.
So and no one was into it.
No, but you still get some of everywhere you go. You still, oh man, I love that rolling ball. But yeah, we didn't sell a whole lot of them, and yeah, so sometimes sales dictates how long we keep something around.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rush.
And then same question. What's a ball that you really didn't dig it, but it was just absolutely huge?
Well, that's
it's a tricky question because there's nothing that you're gonna make and put out that you're not 100% behind. But I'm sure there's a couple things that kind of.
I can always tell you the story of like some of the original urethane balls when we did naturals and we did the pitch black. We were like, we know it's kind of like a niche ball and it fits where we need it to fit, but I don't know if it's really going to take off. And then shoot, pitch blacks it's just huge. Through the roof.
We still drill them probably like one a month at least,
and we still sell them at a rapid rate around the world.
Yep. So pitch black, man.
Yeah.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Okay, good man. Name a pro or amateur, male or female bowler right now that you their game that you admire. Like who can you think of? Even maybe that someone that we don't know or someone that's popular, but someone that has a physical game that you really dig right now.
Well, that's a loaded question
it's
too.
hard.
It's really loaded because you got.
I get the wife implications as well.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, Lindsay. To me, Lindsay's one of the best I've ever seen as far as with versatility, doing lots of different tricks, man or woman. Norm to me is the best shot maker ever.
Yeah.
But the guy that always just kind of overwhelms me is Belmo to what he can do as a two-handed player. And I know people are like, there's the two-handed haters,
yeah.
but
of course.
to watch, to say, okay, I want you to do this, and this, and it's like he can do all of it, and it's like, no wonder you're having such great success.
You win a lot, man.
I mean, even another guy like Don Barrett, another guy that I thought just phenomenal ball roll.
Awesome.
I just and really has a good mentality and shot process. A guy named Marshall Kent has a tremendous amount of talent, and it's just like it's just going to keep coming. And as he matures and gets in more, he's just got a lot.
Yeah,
he
throws
great ball roll.
Throws it awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so that's out of the. So I mean, Belmonte, Barrett. I mean, all those guys kind of in that a little bit of a tie there, right
Belmo's
there.
The best. Belmo's the best.
Belmo's the best.
Because the thing is, I've had Belmo behind the scenes on Specto. I've had him in testing, and I've had a lot of different players come through in testing.
He hits dimes.
For as much power and rev rate as he can create, he has still so much control over it.
Yeah.
I mean, a guy like Klemkin, who works for us, another one it's a machine, and when we do ball testing, we use Klemkin and we use Lindsay, and it's like their numbers are so
they can just repeat,
spot on,
repeat,
tight.
repeat.
It's just like they become machines.
Yeah, I'm the house sprinkler effect.
The Rainbird?
Oh yeah, baby, everywhere. That's why it's house shot, man. We test on easy
sometimes I have
stuff.
to do it too, so I get to throw it for the Rainbird from the left side of the lane.
I got to make sure that all the arrows have oil on them.
Sure.
Make sure the pattern's going to develop
Absolutely.
properly. Yeah, there you go. Referring to symmetric bowling balls to try to squeeze this down into as I mean, we could probably talk about this one thing for an hour.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Does CG matter?
Symmetric versus asymmetric. Asymmetric, it doesn't. It's still pin and PSA.
Right.
We did a test. I took some balls over to Japan. I actually flipped them the other way. So I measured through the mass bias, round through the pin to the opposite side, which you still have the mass bias goes through the ball. So
right. So it's on
the only reason it spins to one side is because you have static mass to one side, so it spins to that side.
Right.
So you still have basically the mass bias on the opposite side of the ball too. It's just like an axle that rolls. It goes through the wheel. So I flipped them around, put the mass bias opposite side of the ball, but still had the marked mass bias. So a 4x4x2 that was traditional, and a 4x4x2. The pin was still in the same spot, but the marked mass bias was on the other side. But the opposite side, the opposite pole of the mass bias was on the other side. It had 3 ounces of finger and 1 ounce of negative, and you couldn't. I was trying to get them to. You couldn't tell
the
it apart.
difference.
No, you couldn't tell, because an asymmetric ball has a defined preferred spin axis, and so it really is where is the pin distance in relation to the PAP, and where's the PSA in distance,
and then
in the buffer.
Every symmetrical ball, as soon as you put the thumb in it, that is the preferred.
It
spin
becomes
axis.
the preferred spin axis. The only thing we've noticed and we've done produced a little bit of data, is that when you do have a tremendous amount of mass, like maxed out in static, you do see an inch or two here or there. You don't see feet.
But there's not any gigantic difference.
No.
So swinging your CGs around really doesn't impact the motion of the ball.
No. The players that see it are those finite players that, like, it's the Norm Dukes of the world that used to always ounce and 3/4, back to 3/4. That was his magic. He always an inch hole or sometimes an inch and eighth hole. Those players are going to see it because he's in his brain. He feels that he needs that amount of static because he knows what it does.
Now, would you say that it's more of a visual thing as well? Because we get guys all the time. They're like, all right, my pin's there. I want my CG kicked this way. And now in your head, as soon as you put the holes in the ball, it really doesn't matter. But I always go on the fact that if you believe it can absolutely happen.
Your perception is reality, because you see it as, that ball's gonna hook earlier. That ball's not gonna hook at all. That ball's gonna not. If it's the CGs to the left, oh man, it's not gonna back in. It's gonna quit.
Correct. So what you see, if you truly believe it, then that's what you're gonna get.
Like when we do ball tests, sometimes we have to turn the pins off. We won't let it cycle. They're bowling on basically shadow, what we used to call a shadow, because
you don't
a guy like
ball reaction.
a guy like Klemkin and a guy like Lindsay, if a ball doesn't quite come up to the pocket, they are not doing it, intentionally. But like you watch Steve catch it a little bit
lean
more,
on it a little bit harder,
because that ball didn't quite. So we have to take the pins away because we don't want it to watch them go through the pins, because then they start becoming bowlers saying, I got to make it strike.
I'm going to strike now.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. Yeah.
So, yeah.
There you go. What's one thing that we can do as an industry, as a bowling family, to continue to grow the sport in the direction it's going now?
I mean,
just one, like doesn't have to be as specific, but just one thing.
Education. It's just education. I mean, the biggest problem is there's so much information that's available on the internet. There's so much that people can read.
We're doing it right now.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. So what one person says online might not be the gospel. What another person says might rebut it a little bit. But the biggest thing we can do as a manufacturer is educate you on how to educate the consumers, because many times consumer comes in and he says, hey, I was reading this.
Yeah.
And then,
supply to me.
And then it's like we want to make sure that we educate you as operators, because you're gonna be that direct connection to them. They can reach out to us, but once again, we're still kind of that third party.
Right.
You're the one that's going to touch them and say, hey, here's what you really need.
Boots on the ground, man.
Absolutely. And so for us, it's like we really want to try to educate you to know everything you can about the product that we're delivering and about the changes in layouts, those things. We want to make sure that you have all that knowledge that you can share it with them. Because what you just said in the last question is, so many people are concerned about that not having the hole. So we're doing a tremendous amount of testing to go, okay, if they had this layout with this size of hole,
you would do this.
We're going to give you, here's an option. So now you can educate them and, oh no, now my ball's never going to roll the same because they can't put that big hole over there.
Right.
So now we're going to say, okay, we can drill a little different and get you that same reaction.
Same shape.
So it's really educating, because what happens in most situations in industries is that the lack of education causes the person to quit a sport.
Exactly, yeah.
Because they don't understand why my ball why it didn't strike, or I can't make it spare, or when the lane condition changed and I go to another bowling center, Bowl City tournament.
It's completely different.
And I averaged 200 over here, but I averaged 180 over here.
Right.
And then they get frustrated.
From shop to shop as well. Like one shop is old school, they see it this way. And then if you maybe are on the younger side and you're just getting into it, then you're going to see it another way. Or it's even like the schools you believe. It's like the one guy that's been doing it for this long and the one guy that's doing that, and they're always just...
Yeah,
you know?
and there's all the different schools of thought. There is in other sports too, but in the end, we're always trying to get to the same end game.
Exactly, yeah.
If you believe in that method and that method works, take that method all the way to the end.
Yep.
Don't be bouncing back and forth.
Yeah. And
stay with it.
You see that a lot, man. Customers are always like, well, this guy said that, but then he'll say the same thing to the next guy, and he said, she said. So education is key. And then, here's the last question. And thank you for this. Also.
Okay,
this is great.
I love doing this.
What is one thing you can tell us today that Storm has in store for the fans and people that bowl? One just little tidbit of something. I know everything is very hush-hush. I totally get it. And if you can't say anything, I understand as well. But maybe one little teaser to something possibly coming up, like maybe like a new cover development or something, maybe core, maybe not even with bowling.
Well, there's always new covers and always new cores that we're working on constantly. I think in the last 6 weeks, between Alex and Lindsay and Steve and myself, we've tested 19 different cover stock variations.
Jeez. Wow.
So I mean, you always have to keep going, always going. And so, but I think the biggest tidbit I can give you now is there's a ball coming that everybody loved. That there might be something coming.
All right.
So, that's all I can say.
That's the piece. There could be possibly a romance, like a return to the romance of an old bowling ball. How? No, I won't even dig.
As far as I go.
I won't even dig. I won't even dig.
We're not going anymore.
That's awesome. Hey, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you again for stopping by. That was my interview with Hank Boomershine. Thank you to Mickey Luongo for coming out and bringing Hank by the shop. It was my pleasure to spend some time with you guys and talk all the tech stuff that I love about the sport and everything else. So, bada boom. First on the press thing that we're doing. Like and subscribe for more, and we'll see you on the next video.